Hi, it's Jenny with Jenny's Wreath Boutique, and in this video we are going to be making a spring moss and floral wreath. If you love spring, give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that yet. The materials we're going to need for this wreath are a moss wreath form. I picked this up at Michael's and it's nice. It already has a tie on it. The back is not pretty, but the front is beautiful. And it's kind of messy. This is an 18-inch moss wreath form. The next thing we're going to need is some kind of greenery. I have a maidenhair fern. I love this leafy, beautiful, fresh looking texture. I think moss and fern go so well together. And then I also have a beautiful mix of some spring flowers. So I have these beautiful pansies. I love these. These are my favorite. I have a few tulips that I have left over from something. These are from Michael's. I have some other spring flowers and a lovely mix. It has lots of different things in here. And then another mix of spring flowers. So we have the ferns and all the flowers. The first thing we're going to do is put in our greenery base. I always like to start with the greenery because it gives our wreath a nice foundation. One thing about using a styrofoam frame is it can be a little bit stiff. So you want things that have a nice strong stem. If you don't have things with a strong stem, you could put a steel pick on them. I don't have a steel pick machine, so I can't do that. I know a lot of people do that. I'm just relying on a strong stem. So I've cut about half of those and I'm just going to, okay, remember this is the top. I actually got this last year at Michael's, last spring, and I was going to do a video last spring, but I didn't get around to it. But I got it 80% off. It's normally $20. So I put the hot glue on the stem and I'm going to be putting the florals and greenery around the bottom part. So, and I'm going to put it in at an angle. Just like that. And these are kind of flimsy, so I'm not going to put it down too low because it's going to fall. Yeah. This is why we need strong stems. And I like having the lighter color too. I'm not going to use a lot, but just so we have a nice base. Now we have our ferns in. We are going to put in some other greenery, and I'm going to start with these. So I'm going to break it up. I like that these have the little violas, and these are like the bigger pansies. I forgot to mention, you also need a hot glue gun and glue, and you need some wire cutters. I'm so sorry, I forgot to mention that. You also need those, and the ones I use are linked in the description below. I'm going to put a couple more pieces of fern up here on the top. Putting one of these on each side because I like the symmetry, and how gorgeous is this thistle with these wildflowers. I love that look. This is about as far out as I would like to go because I love the moss and I want it to really shine. all about layers. We're building layers on this wreath. It's going to be really pretty. Look at these. They are so beautiful and realistic looking. Look at that. They're so pretty. I'm actually going to cut this at an angle. I don't know if that'll help. I hope they can squeeze in, but I want it to look like you have a garden just growing on top of this moss wreath. See how that just looks so natural? Oh, I love it. Another flower that would be really pretty in this wreath are daffodils. I love daffodils in the spring. They're like the first bulb that comes up in my yard. I love them. Or if you have any crocus or something like that, it would be so pretty. Okay, so here's the tip I'm going to show you for what to use for these leaves. If you pull the leaf off, it was on there right there, but there is a little hole right there. And so do you see this tulip? I can just take part of the stem, and it's like having a little pick. So you just dab some glue into that hole and stick in your little pick, and now you have a nice greenery pick. Ooh, that's going to be really pretty. I think right there. Now we have another bulb flower, another spring flower, and I love these. And they have nice firm stems, which is one thing to note is the middle one doesn't have any of the greenery on it, so I'll take some of the greenery from the other ones and just put it on that one. So I will just take one of these. Stick it on there. These kind of look like those, don't they? These leaves are becoming my favorite. They are so useful. So I'm just filling in, and don't worry, I am going to be putting something in the middle. Just haven't decided what yet. For this part, I'm going to keep the pansy upright, and I'm going to put it a little bit lower if I can. And you don't have to use these exact flowers, use whatever you want. I'm just using what I happen to have on hand. A little bit of purple down here. And bring a little bit of color down to the bottom, because I am going to put a green leaf here to kind of cover up that. Do you recognize any of these flowers from any of my floral hauls I've showed you? Let me know which ones you recognize and what ones are your favorite in here. Another way to do this, if you don't want to have just the hard stems, because sometimes it can be difficult, you can use floral pins. Just dab some glue, stick the floral pin on it, and that'll make this actually a lot easier. I was just thinking as I was setting some of these in, I wish I had a floral pin, but since I don't, that's okay. Okay. Oh, those are so pretty. I love these. They're so delicate and I love them. Probably fuss with this all day, but I really love how it turned out. What do you think? Oh my goodness. It's so pretty. I love the purple and like the touches of white and the yellow. This is so cute, and it looks like the pansies are just growing out of the moss. I love it. If you love spring and you love this wreath, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me out. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that yet. I make lots of wreath tutorials, and I show you behind the scenes of my wreath making business, and I teach you how to sell on Etsy. So if you're interested in any of those things, please subscribe and hit the bell to be notified whenever I post a new video. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.